Hey everybody, Brian here from ltlpodcast. Just wanted to jump in really quick and give you an update on the Anthony Farah Timepiece gentleman situation, as we really haven't heard anything in quite a while. But there are some rumors out there that someone that was one of the last players in the Anthony Farah Timepiece gentleman camp is now talking to the FBI. And it doesn't really surprise me, knowing what we've heard over the last couple of months. We've had a lot of people come forward that have been scammed by Anthony Farah. Every day there's a new report, and just seeing how elaborate this scheme got. And, with Anthony essentially coming out on his YouTube channel a couple of months ago and talking about that he was $5 million in debt, that he used essentially consignment money, customers' money, to fund his lifestyle. That's essentially a Ponzi scheme. So if you look at the whole situation, I started to see this kind of start percolating a little bit more when Bob and Wesley came out and talked about their connections with Anthony and what happened to them. And Wesley was saying during that interview on JJ's Watch channel that, he was talking to lawyers. He was putting together a fund for people that couldn't afford a lawyer, that may have been screwed over by Tony. I called him Tony. Everybody calls him Two-Tone Timepiece Tooney. But that got screwed over by Anthony, and they just couldn't afford a lawyer. So he wanted to get a defense fund together. So things that I wanted to kind of look at, who could this have been? Who could the people or person that's talking to the FBI? If anything, if the heat's really coming down, and if any of these people knew about what was going on, the best thing is to just come out forward and get ahead of everything, because you don't want to be behind, and you want to get the truth out there. So if you knew about anything that was going on, best to stand up and start talking to the authorities now. So what I look at is, who would it be? You had essentially the last people that were appear with Anthony in his camp. You had Liz, Darby, Lewis, Trevor, Z. And I kind of look at Liz and Darby. Now, Liz and Darby, essentially towards the end, became non-existent. They disappeared. You weren't really seeing Liz as much on camera anymore. Darby always behind the camera, filming for Anthony. You saw him a little bit more in the middle of, his relationship with Anthony. And then towards the end, you kind of saw them peel back a little bit. You have Lewis, that was a guy that was essentially like a TPG fanboy that came over from Australia and said, hey, I want to work with you. Why the hell would you ever want to do that, knowing that, what Anthony was all, the controversy surrounding Anthony and possible things he was involved with. Trevor was one of the other guys that were in kind of this thing towards the end. And he's got a lot of problems himself. There are legal documents out there that show that Trevor has a February court date next year, and he's facing a slew of charges. He has been implicated or alleged in a huge drug case. He's facing multiple charges, about 15 felonies that extend to racketeering, money laundering. So someone like that definitely probably doesn't want to add any additional charges. If he knew about this, wire fraud is not something that you would want on your record as well if you're facing all these charges, because if he's convicted, he's definitely someone that's going to be going away for quite a long time. And then you had Z. Z, to me, seemed the closest to Anthony. And I don't know. I think Wesley was talking about, once he was speaking to Z about everything that was going on, there was a incident, I'm trying to remember, that he was speaking to Z face to face about everything that was going on, and Z got scared and was like, I have to get back to LA. I'm not sure if he knows. The thing that's just really weird about all of this is that if you're in and around Anthony, knowing of his past, knowing of the things, I mean, I would have to think, you have to know what's going on. You have to know that this stuff was going on. To what extent, I don't know. But it would seem very strange to me that, you're renting these elaborate cars. You have all this consignment inventory that's coming in. You had a penthouse. You were renting a penthouse. You're going out to the best restaurants, eating, top of the line steaks, partying every night, drinking, going to Vegas, literally showing on videos that you're betting hundreds of thousands of dollars on one spin in a roulette wheel, playing blackjack. You have to start questioning, where is this money coming from? How, if your books are not adding up, and to the level and extent of what any of these players or individuals knew about Anthony's books, I don't know, but to me, it just seems really weird. You wouldn't know. And it wouldn't seem to me that Anthony would not let any of these people in knowing, what was going on. So I don't know. Again, I can't confirm anything. This is all alleged conversation, but it just seems really weird to me that if you're living this incredibly ridiculous lifestyle where your money coming in doesn't match the money going out, it just really would be highly questionable. Exactly. I mean, if I was stuck in that situation, I would look at this person and be like, something's not right here. So as of right now with Anthony, we know that he was traveling back and forth from LA to Texas after all this started kind of hitting the heat on the internet, a couple of weeks to a couple months ago with Bob and Wesley coming forward. And I just did some deep diving and saw that Anthony now has deleted his main IG account. I think it was under @Anthony, and his YouTube channel. All his videos on his YouTube channel have been deleted. His YouTube channel is still there. So it's really interesting stuff. Again, I'd be curious to see what's going to happen here. I'm sure more information is going to leak out, and I would love to know what you guys and ladies that are watching this down below in the comments, what you think. Is it possible that the FBI is now involved in the Timepiece Gentleman Anthony Farah saga? So let me know what you think. Let me know down below. And again, I'm going to leave this open to anybody that may have been scammed by Anthony Farah and wants to come on live and talk about it on my show, has receipts to back up the conversations, and you want to get it out there and get it out to the public and let us know, there is an open invitation to you. Just get in touch with me at letstalklivepodcast@gmail.com, and we arrange for you to come on and talk about exposing this scam artist, someone that needs to be held accountable for what he did to all of these people, because this cannot happen again. If this is your first time over here, please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment down below. Again, I'm Brian from the LTL Podcast, and I will keep investigating the Anthony Farah Timepiece Gentleman saga. Take care.